Hi everyone, hope you're safe and well. We're here again for another Hattons live stream with a model overview, and today we're looking at something a little bit different. But if you're a 00 gauge modeler of any time from the 1940s up to the current day, I think you're going to find these quite hard to resist. These are something special indeed. It's the Hattons Original Warwell wagon. And this model's been available for a couple of years now, but I thought it was time to get a look at this up close and personal, show some of the unusual features and the really interesting history of these iconic vehicles as well. And these are available in 00 gauge. As ever, you can click that link in the description should you like a little bit more information and should you like to place an order for one or more of them as well. There's more than 10 currently available in a huge variety of different liveries, some of which I've got here to show you today as well. So I'll bring the wagon up to the front and we'll cover the original livery to start off with. This is the original Ministry of Defence / War Department dark green. And as you can see there on the wagon, it does actually have the branding for the Great Western Railway. These wagons were not actually owned by the railway companies. They were built in 1942 as part of the war effort in the Second World War. And they were used for transporting large military vehicles down to the Channel ports in the southeast of England, mainly because the wagons that were available at the time really couldn't carry some of the big vehicles that were being made for the D-Day landings in 1944. So these wagons were built, 85 of them were built in 1942, used by all four railway companies to transport goods and military vehicles across the UK. Really successful design, as you can see there on that well shape, really rugged, and you can fit a large vehicle such as an M4 Sherman tank on there as well. So really successful vehicles, went right through wartime up until the mid to late 1940s. After that, fortunately, they didn't have as much of a need in the Ministry of Defence, so a lot were sold to the likes of British Railways and industrial users as well, who got quite innovative with the wagons and made them into bolster wagons, as you see here, with the bolster deck on the top, or also used for carrying steel with the girder struts that you see there as well. A number of them did remain in use with the Ministry of Defence and still do to this day, actually. You can still see them out and about on the main line. They have had some upgrade work over the years carried out, but they're essentially the same vehicle. And actually, that makes them really interesting for the fact that they are the oldest wagons still in operation on the network as well. Originally built in 1942, they're coming up to their 80th anniversary of use now. And there's not many things in the UK that can say that are still in regular mainline use. So it shows you just how useful, how well built and how versatile a wagon the Warwells were as well. And I'll just let you get another closer look at the top deck on the bolster conversion there as well. Good to see everyone there in the chat as well. Can they be hauled by a Dutch 37? Now, the absolute beauty of these wagons, if you have pretty much any locomotive from the 1940s right up to the current day, these vehicles will have been seen with quite a lot of those. So in wartime, you're looking at locomotives such as the WD War Department 280s. You're looking at a lot of the independent railway companies' locomotives there as well, whether you model Southern, Great Western, LMS, LNER. If you've got a freight locomotive, they'll have been involved moving anything and everything down to the Channel ports. Coming into the more modern eras, once you get your BR identity, steel have been hauled for lots of different duties. This particular vehicle was used to carry boilers between locomotive works. So again, your standard freight, steam and diesel locomotives used there. Then right up to 1990s and the current day is, as we got in the comments there, Class 37s, Class 47s, quite commonly now operating with Class 66s with DB cargo as well. So you've got everything from some ancient steam designs right through to the modern Class 66s that will be seen with these wagons. And again, that just shows the versatility of just how many different locos, how many different eras these cover as well. So I'll let you get a little bit of a closer look at the model as well. And as ever, there's some really high definition images on our website. Just showing the end features there, you'll be able to see the NEM coupling sockets, the fully sprung buffers as well. There are a number of different shapes on the buffers depending on the era and the livery too. The chassis itself is die-cast with a plastic top, and you'll just see on the bottom there as well the rivet detail even on the bottom of the wagon. As I bring it round, you'll see that on the die-cast underframe also, and bringing it round to the side there as well, you have also the rivet detailing on the plastic top too. So just as per the real wagons, built really rugged, really strong, reliable design, but not without the details either. You can see the handbrake wheel towards my right hand there. You can also see the screw jacks on the end of the wagon too. So even though they are quite a really strong, rugged design in real life and model form, we've not skimped on adding the details to them too. They're absolutely fine on anything down to second radius curves, and these look great either on their own in the BR liveries as part of an engineer's train, or as signal and telegraph wagon, as you've got here, used for transporting bits of rail or signals or sleepers or the like into the 1970s, or running as a large rake on a Ministry of Defence train into the 1990s, or in the original liveries in the 1940s, transporting tanks and military vehicles down to the Channel ports as well. So as you've already guessed, there's a lot you can use these wagons with. A lot of locos, a lot of locations, many different liveries covered there as well. And the tooling does cater for the 3 different types. So you can see the original single well, you can see the bogie bolster conversion with the bolster deck, and you can see the bolsters there as well for carrying different loads. If I bring these two up close, you will also see that there are 2 bogie types as well. We have the Gloucester GPS bogie on the left and the original diamond frame bogie on the right. All the vehicles were built with the diamond frame bogie, but in the 1970s, the Ministry of Defence did fully refurbish their wagons into the condition you see here, gave them a midlife refurbishment. It might not have been intended to have them running up until 2020, but they certainly are still out there on the network, and there's no signs of them being retired yet. So who knows what locomotives we may see them run with in the future, and they certainly could hit 100 years on the railway. And just how many items of UK rolling stock do get that far? And again, on the slightly different tooling versions, you'll see there the quality of the wood grain finish on the top of the bolster deck. So again, looking at some of the fine detail printing on there too, you've got the data panels, you have the TOPS code for the wagon type 2, you've got the running number and some of the loading information there as well, saying what you should and should not put on these wagons. So a couple of different buffer types, as we previously mentioned. You have your oval buffers on the refurbished wagon from the 1990s. And you have the original style buffers there as well. Now you see that the tops are cut off those. That is completely authentic for when 2 wagons were together. You'd be able to have the loads pretty much driving straight over between the wagons as well, so it wouldn't catch on the buffers as and when they were loaded on. So just check those comments again. So out of the 00 Warwells, which is my favourite? Now I have to like the grey livery because, okay, the history here is with the military side, but it shows you just how versatile some of these vehicles were as well. Always finding a use, really strong and reliable designs there. So some great formation ideas there too. It is easy to add further detail into these as well. We do sell some wagons that do come pre-weathered. That may just come up on the camera there as well. There is a little bit of grime on the sides and the top of that wagon. And of course, in wartime and out and about on the line as well, these would get dirty quite quickly, and it might not have been a priority to clean them off. So a great opportunity to add a little bit more customization there too. And again, just to look at some of the really fine details there as well, you can really see the quality of the printing, not only on the side of the bogie, indicating the handbrake position, but also the MOD's own ownership badge and numbering there as well as really smally, just on my finger there is the data panel for the wagon type itself. So some really exquisite printing on these, bringing it right down to the tiny details. Again, as we've covered on a lot of models on our channel, the attention to detail for the specific liveries, getting the rich colours there as well for the original sort of deep bronze colour that these wagons were delivered in, right down to the BR grey, and then coming through into the blacks as well, and the modern British Army Ministry of Defence style green too. So there really is a colour and a style and a model for everyone here. And as said, some formation ideas for you as well. You can get long trains, short trains, anything that's operated on the UK's railways over the last 80 years has got a real chance of coming in with these. And they start at £33. The weathered models are 37. And again, if you'd like to take a closer look or place an order, you can check out that link in the description for more information. I'll also show you what you get in the detailing bag. So you can just about see in there, that is a set of vacuum brake pipes and also a set of cosmetic screw couplings as well, should you really wish to detail these up. You can just about see on the end of the wagon there, just above the coupling, you'll be able to see the holes for where those parts are located. A tiny little bit of glue will fix those in, and there's a full guide on our website for which bits need to go where on the wagons as well. So really detailed out of the box. Some of them even come weathered for you as well. But if you do fancy adding that little bit extra to really individualize them, you can do. With 85 of them built in real life, I think there's about 20 or so that are still in use with the Ministry of Defence. A number of them even went to industrial locations such as steel mills, and they were there until the 1990s as well. So even if you have an industrial layout with maybe a small diesel shunter, you can have one or two of these wagons moving things around a small factory or, as said, a steel mill as well. The possibilities are endless here, guys. It's one of those wagons that I could sit here for hours and tell you different ways to use these on a layout. It's pretty hard to resist to get one or more of these. If you're modelling anything from the 1940s onwards, they have got a place in a collection. I'll just let you get a closer look again at this original liveried model, and this is how the wagons would have arrived on the UK rail network in 1942, ready to transport military loads from far and wide to the Channel ports as well for the D-Day landings and supporting the rest of the war effort as well. Now, question there from Tristan regarding the Engineers yellow wagon. Now, that has sold out in 00 gauge. There were further models released. There was 24 models in total in different liveries that have been produced, and we've got about 15 of those left now. They do occasionally come up from time to time on our pre-owned department, so do follow that link again. You'll find more details there, how to look at some of the models that are no longer available new, but do come up from time to time. One of those is the bright yellow variation, which was touched on there by Tristan as well. But that's not to say that there isn't many available now. We do still have, as just said, around 15 of these in stock brand new. They start at £33, and we have models that cover right from the start in the 1940s, through the 1950s and 60s, into the 70s, then right up to the current day as well, with the refurbished Gloucester bogeyed Ministry of Defence livery that you see there. So if you're a 00 modeller, there really is a Warwell for you. They're a really nicely detailed wagon. They've got a good bit of weight to them as well, with the full die-cast chassis and the plastic top there as well. Full metal wheel sets, as you can see, with pivoting bogies that will get you through anything down to second radius curves. Really easy to add a bit of customization to if you want to put the details on from the detail pack. Really easy to get a good bit of weathering as well, especially with the level of rivet detail on this, on pretty much all the sides of the wagon. You can see the top, the bottom, the sides. That will look absolutely fantastic with a bit of weathering clinging to it, but it really does look great just straight out of the box as well. And with infinite possibilities to run these, dependent on your era, your location, the type of traffic they carried, from military vehicles to boilers and other railway equipment, to signals, track, steel beams, the whole lot, modern military vehicles, original style military vehicles on the 1940s version as well. If you like a wagon and you like putting something on it, it's that sort of wagon, really. It's a perfect well wagon for pretty much any load you can imagine. So I really do recommend you have a closer look at these. We do have some more videos on our channel that cover them. We also have a page on the website, and if you click that link in the description, there is some more information, including some really high quality photos, information on where to put your separate parts if you do buy one as well, and a full list of what is available to order right now. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. We've had a look at something a little bit more unusual, but with a really important part in the UK railway history. It's a bit of a record breaker, as we mentioned, with it still being in traffic nearly 80 years. That's 80. There is not a lot like that on the UK railway network. So pretty much every opportunity you can imagine to get one of these on your layout. So click the link in the description and find out more. Otherwise, guys, as always, it's been great to see you, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.